Hey, what's up guys, Pablo here with another video, and today we have the unboxing and first impressions on the Nike Adapt Auto Max in the infrared colorway. Alright, to get the video started, I just want to give a huge shout out to my homie Giancarlo. He's the one that made this video happen. He provided the shoes for the video. These shoes are actually not mine. The on-feet look today is the shoes on him. If you've been following me for a while, Giancarlo and I did a couple videos when I was first starting to do sneaker videos too. So he's not new to the channel. He's my real life homie. It's not like it's a YouTube collab or anything. We both love sneakers and he just made this video possible. So shout out to John. So the Nike Adapt Auto Max in the infrared colorway dropped in May of 2020. So it's a pretty recent shoe, and it's the second colorway of the Auto Max shoe. The first one was the motherboard, which dropped, I want to say, like a couple weeks before. It wasn't even that, there wasn't that much of a time difference between the two. The shoe retails for $400, which is a price tag that we've seen a lot more with the Adapt shoes ever since Nike came out with the Adapt BB 2.0. But even at that price tag and the fact that it's an Adapt shoe, it's still available in some retailers as of the making of this video. I actually just saw yesterday or 2 days ago that some retailer here in the US restocked the shoe again with like a full-size run. And the great thing about that is that you don't have to go through resellers or resale websites like Gold or StockX in order to get this shoe. You can actually buy them for retail. The shoe's pretty much available for everybody. But I've been paying attention to Gold and StockX, and prices do fluctuate pretty often, so there's also a chance that you can even get them cheaper from the retail price. Obviously you still have to pay for fees with Gold and StockX and shipping and all that, but at least the actual price of the shoe could be cheaper. This colorway of the Auto Max consists of pure platinum, particle gray, and obviously infrared. Now the best thing about this Auto Max shoe as a silhouette rather than the colorway is that it's the latest addition to the Adapt lineup from Nike. You have the Adapt BB, Adapt BB 2.0, Huarache Adapt, and now the Adapt Auto Max as well. Now going off of that, this is Nike's second lifestyle shoe within the lineup, the Huarache Adapt being the first one. The Auto Max was inspired on the Air Max 90 and its design, but this specific colorway also took inspiration from the infrared colorway on the Air Max 90 as well. And the way you can think of it is this is how Nike was trying to make the Air Max 90 a little bit more futuristic, which they already kind of did, or they already applied some of that concept earlier this year with the Air Max 2090, but that was more of a re-engineering of the shoe to make it more of a staple silhouette for a future generation, versus this Auto Max shoe is more about the self-lacing and actually giving you that futuristic feel. And speaking of futuristic feel, the shoe actually has a really strong resemblance, especially on the upper, with the Nike Air Mag. And this resemblance comes primarily from the color. Also, the bands that function as laces for the shoe on the Auto Max are pretty close to what the Nike Air Mag has. Something particular to the shoe, however, is the very tall midsole that it comes with. So the way to think about the midsole is that it's broken into two pieces, the front and the back. The front of the shoe has Evo foam, which is meant to be a little more cushioning. It's a pretty standard foam. It's used in a lot of Nike shoes, and even other brands use that kind of foam. Nothing top of the line like React or Zoom X. None of that. It's just your standard kind of foam that you find in most shoes. On the back, however, or like even, I want to say it's even 3/4 of the way like front and then 3/4 towards the back, it's all rubber. In this infrared tone, rubber is what actually makes the shoe look a lot taller and thicker. And the main reason why it's so large and why it's so tall is because it's covering in the middle, right in the middle of the shoe, it's covering the self-lacing power unit. And then towards the heel, it's actually wrapping around the Air Max bubble that they added on the shoe. Nike claims this is a brand new bubble that they added to the shoe, and all they really did was add more air to it, making the shoe more comfortable. But now let's talk about the main attraction on these shoes, and that's the self-lacing feature. The shoes come with Fit Adapt technology from Nike, which is what makes the self-lacing possible. Now this Fit Adapt technology is something newer, or I guess it's the newer way of calling what Nike used to refer to as EARL, or Electro-Adaptive Reactive Lacing. And this concept was heavily promoted on the Hyper Adapt 1.0s and even the Adapt BB 1.0s. But back to how the self-lacing actually works. When you put the shoe on for the very first time, it usually takes a while, and then they auto-lace to a preset setting in order to tighten around your foot. Now, getting a little bit technical into how this happens, there's a capacitive touch controller built into the motor or built into the shoe that senses when you first put the foot in, and then sends an electrode to the main processor telling it to lace the shoe up, or the processor at that point will determine if the shoes are already laced up, not to lace them up, but rather keep them the way they are. But the simple way to put it is, if the shoe's not tightened up and you put your foot in, there's a sensor that's gonna know and it's gonna auto lace it for you. Now, just like we've seen since the HyperAdapt 1.0, these shoes come with the lateral buttons where you can press up and down in order to tighten or loosen up the fit. Now that's the way of adjusting the shoes that, like I said, we've seen from the beginning, but with these you can also do it through the app or with a voice assistant like Siri or Google Assistant, depending on your operating system on your phone, iOS or Android.
Hey Siri, turn on my shoe lights.
Nike really did an amazing job with creating a motor in a shoe, a self-lacing shoe that works properly, but not only that, that can work even after you buy it, or that will not go old as soon as the new one comes out. And the reason I say this is because probably my favorite feature of the shoe, which it's a little bit odd since it's a $400 lifestyle shoe. Don't get me wrong, the shoe's amazing, it looks great, but I'm a bit of a nerd, so when I saw that the shoe comes with 8 megabytes of flash memory, I was blown away by that. And the thing about those 8 megabytes of flash memory is that that's where the shoe stores the updates, the firmware updates that eventually come out for the shoe itself. So what this means is you're not forced to buy a new shoe in order to get the latest features. So for example, one of the updates that Nike released for the Adapt lineup was the fact that you can keep the lights on for an hour or keep them pulsating for an hour. Before they couldn't do that. Even when I unboxed the Adapt BB 1.0 back in October, I think it was, they couldn't do that. And the way that Nike makes these updates available to you is via Bluetooth. So the same way that your shoes connect to the phone is the same way that you receive your updates. Now, if you're a bit of a nerd like me and you still want to know what kind of other pieces are going into this shoe and how they operate and what their role is, I'm gonna have a list over here just so you know, or I'm gonna have a link in the description where you can actually go to Nike's website where they describe it for you. But now going back to the sneaker side of things, the sizing on the shoe. So according to Giancarlo, this is a true to size shoe. He went to his regular size and it fits perfect. He told me there's a bit of space in the front, but it's not too much space where it's uncomfortable, and it's actually great because it's not too tight where your foot is jamming towards the front of the shoe, and obviously with the self-lacing it becomes even more tight and uncomfortable. So if you are looking to buy the Automax, we recommend going true to size. So a couple first thoughts on the shoes, and obviously this is not a full-on review, but just kind of like what I got out of playing with them a bit and then obviously seeing Giancarlo wearing them. This is a very, very futuristic shoe, and Nike combined the Adapt technology into a lifestyle sneaker perfectly. And the great thing is that even though they're tall and they're a bit chunky, they don't necessarily look like that once they're on feet. So another thing that we love was the charge on the shoes. So these come with a wireless charging pad, you place them and then that's how they charge. There's no plug or anything to them. Now we did a quick 20-minute test and they charge about 20%, which we thought it was great, especially if, let's say, they're out of charge and you're getting ready to go out for the night and you just place them on the pad real quick, like 15 minutes, and you get some charge. Maybe you're not gonna be able to use the lights for the hour or the pulsating lights for an hour, but at least you have your self-lacing shoes available. And then the app. The app was great, it's very seamless, easy to use. We were using Giancarlo's iPhone XR with the latest updates and all that. It's just very easy to use, and I think that's the biggest thing. There shouldn't be a complicated app for a pair of shoes. And that was it for today's video, guys. I really hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and also don't forget to subscribe to keep on watching more unboxings here on the channel. And one more time, that was it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. Pablo, out.